I mean, if Bitcoin went to 100K by the end of the year and they're at 70 now, that's a nice gain, but it's a lot different than if Ethereum's at 3,900 now and it goes to 20,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah, but Grayscale had the first mover advantage in Bitcoin. They are not going to have the first mover advantage in ETH.
The ETH ETF.
Yes.
Right.
What you're going to see is you're going to see people like BlackRock are going to be the gorilla, right? They're going to be the big guy that people are like, well, it's BlackRock. I trust them.
Right.
Right. That's where my money is, or that's my cousin works for them or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? There's a certain amount of the bigger players are all going to be on a more level playing field where one of them's not going to be ahead. Remember, Grayscale got in and they were like basically the only game in town.
That's right.
If you wanted it, that's where you went. And it didn't matter if you had to pay a premium, and it didn't matter if you had to have high fees. You got your exposure.
Right. That was the only
way to get it. And,
Yeah.
and I think that's where they were able to charge more and make a lot of money. And maybe maybe in financial world, if you don't pay a lot of attention, you pay a few extra fees, that's good for me.
Right.
I mean,
now it's not guaranteed though. The ETF for ETH is going to happen in May. But
that's correct.
It's not a guarantee. Let me show you this right here. So Polymarket is a prediction market. It's the biggest decentralized prediction market. They're putting it at 6. So the yes and no over here on the right-hand side. No, that it's going to be approved 66%. That's the same as the dollar amount. And yes, it will be approved at 35% on May 31st. Now, this is just a prediction market. So what does that mean? It's just interesting data. It doesn't mean it is or isn't. But what do you think? You think it's going to be approved in May?
Some of this has to do with political pressures.
Yeah, it does.
We're talking about Gary Gensler,
right?
And he hates ETH. He hates ETH.
He backed off on it not being a security, didn't he?
Well, he hasn't changed his position, but he's toned it down.
Okay.
He's also been lit up by Congress over and over again over this. Like, you can't tell us this is a security. You the guys that study it, you're supposed to know.
Right.
You can't answer the question. Why are you not answering the question?
Right.
The kind of stuff that's going on in this committee hearings.
Yep.
And he's just doing the stonewall. Oh, I gotta, this and that and honor and duty and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Okay. This is not, this is not what you want in your financial market. You want regulatory clarity. You want to know what their position is so that you can take advantage of that market or avoid that market based on the outcomes that you could see from the position of the authority. And the authority is basically acting like a sixth grader on the playground saying, I don't want you to play with this ball, so I'm going to hold this ball and you're not allowed to play with it. This is stupid. People want to get involved, and the job of the SEC is not to prevent people from getting involved. It's to help provide awareness and protect people from scams. Well, just because Gary thinks that this or that is a scam doesn't make it a scam. Right. And he has a outsized influence because he's the head of the SEC.
Right.
But honestly, I think his days are numbered. I think the fact that he's been an obstacle means that he's a polarizing figure in that world. And, the money talks and the politicians follow. And when the money starts talking louder, and it's been talking louder every day, it gets a little louder.
And it's not necessarily a right-left thing on politics.
No, it's not.
So maybe his days are numbered, that people are getting kind of tired of whatever he's pulling, letting the courts decide everything, and instead of them making the decisions they're supposed to be making.
Yeah. Well, they're not supposed to decide whether or not that asset is good. They're supposed to decide whether or not it's a security and follow security rules. They're supposed to decide whether or not it's a Ponzi or a rug pull or these kinds of things to protect consumers is their mandate. But it's also to nurture financial environments that produce cash.
Sure. Healthy markets. Absolutely.
Healthy markets make money, and development and innovation make money.
Right.
And they've kind of strayed from this in the crypto world and been really anti-crypto. And, the congressmen that talk about it tend to be on one side or the other if they're going to talk about it, and the ones that are against it are generally older.
Elizabeth
They're more
Warren,
senior, yeah,
huge
but
being against it.
been in Congress for years and approaching retirement age. This is not the age in crypto.
Right.
Sure, you see people that are older in crypto. I'm older. I'm in
Right.
crypto, but the people who are really in crypto are under 30.
Yeah, it's a young person's game right
It's
now.
a young person's
Yeah.
game. It's a complex environment. You
Yep.
have to be somewhat savvy about what you're doing. A lot of things, a lot of moving parts moving really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that as you get older, you tend to slow down. You tend to be less interested in going out to the club and getting crazy because it's too loud and too frenetic and
Mm-hmm.
that for where you're at
Yep.
the time. And I used to love to go to the club and dance with the girls, do the things. I'm not so much anymore.
Well, plus the older players in the legislature like this, they're very entrenched with the banks or the old money, the old systems that
Well,
are
they got
sort
a
of
lot-
threatened by crypto.
They got a lot of people who they owe
Right.
favors to, and those people are big money, and
Right.
money has not been interested in crypto until recently.
Yeah, that's changing now.
Yeah,